going to cancel the Paris Climate Agreement and stop. Unbelievable. And stop all payments of the United States tax dollars to UN global warming programs.
Joining me now, Marc Thiessen served as chief speechwriter to President George W. Bush and is a Fox News contributor. And Juan Williams is co-host of The Five and a Fox News political analyst. Juan, Trump says no to this agreement, and you say what?
Well, I'm so interested in the way that you put it, Sandra, because he also said that he was going to repeal and replace Obamacare, get rid of NAFTA, if you recall. He said a lot of things, but I think the reality hit home today, and I think that's why you've seen the strong reaction that we're getting from the liberal front, if you will. I don't necessarily think it's all liberals, but you had a statement from President Obama. You've had statements from the mayor of Pittsburgh, Democratic mayor, all saying that they feel that the president has stepped back from a U.S. role as a leader in terms of the fight against global climate change.
We heard that from many on the left.
Right.
We heard that from many in the media, as we just showed. Marc, can you explain this outrage and the shock that we're seeing, considering the president promised this on the campaign trail multiple times?
Yeah, so I served in the Bush administration when George W. Bush withdrew from the Kyoto Treaty on global warming. So for me, this is kind of like Groundhog Day. I'm experiencing all the same outrage and all the same predictions of apocalypse and the world is coming to an end and all the rest of it. And you know what happened when George Bush pulled out of the Kyoto Treaty? In the next 14 years, we reduced our emissions by 18%. We reduced our emissions faster than the European countries that are now criticizing Donald Trump. Our emissions right now are at 1992 levels. And it's not because of a treaty. It's not because of some piece of parchment signed in Paris or Kyoto. It's because of the free market economy, innovation, and technology. It's hydraulic fracking. It's all of these clean coal technologies that are reducing our emissions. That is going to continue regardless of this Paris Agreement. And by the way, we did it while keeping our energy prices half of those in Europe. We reduced our emissions faster than Europe and kept our energy prices are half of the European Union average. 1/3 of Germany, which is increasing its emissions at an amazing rate. So we're doing better than all these people who are criticizing Donald Trump today and will continue regardless of this treaty.
Juan, Wilbur Ross was on Fox News just a little bit ago and explained it very well. He said the president's not against an agreement. This isn't about the science. This is about the economics of this deal. He called it a transfer of wealth. As Marc just detailed, we are way ahead of what these other countries are doing as far as limiting those CO2 emissions. We're being asked to do a lot more than others. Look at the 2030 deadline for China, in China, for example.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the key point to be made here from the other side of the conversation is go ask Jeff Immelt at GE, go ask Shell, go ask ExxonMobil. Go ask Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State. Go ask Ivanka Trump. These people all say this is not good for American industry, not good for American jobs. It puts us at a disadvantage, allows the Chinese and the Europeans to take the initiative in terms of innovation,
so let's stick with your first
and
point.
Industry for renewable fuels.
Okay, they were absent, by the way, from the Rose Garden, Marc, and I'll give this to you. We were told that Ivanka was not present because of a holiday, a Jewish holiday. But Rex Tillerson, who did say we should have a seat at the table with this, he was in favor of staying in. What does this say about possible division then within this White House on this decision?
It means that the conservatives won, which is great. That's a good thing for our country. This agreement would have cost the United States $3 trillion in lost GDP, 6.5 million industrial jobs. And you know what it would have done to the global temperatures? It would have reduced global temperatures by 0.17 degrees. I'm sorry, it would have changed global temperatures by 0.17 degrees in 85 years. 85, not 1.7 degrees, 0.17 degrees. If I went to your house, Juan, and reduced your thermostat by 0.17 degrees, you wouldn't even notice. Is that worth $3 trillion and 6.5 million jobs? I don't think so.
All right.
But so Marc, hang on, let me just reply to Marc very quickly, Sandra. I just think, Marc, that's not the issue, and I think it's kind of diverse
Sure it is. It's the whole issue.
Because the issue is that it would stop the increase in terms of global climate.
It would
We
have an
seen-
effect of 1.9.
No,
Okay.
no, you're talking
Hold
about
on.
decrease. I'm saying
No,
it would
an
stop
effect,
the
a
increase.
temperature effect.
Well,
Yes, it would
clearly,
stop
clearly,
the
the
increase.
temperature here is very hot, and this is what we are seeing in the media in general as a response to this. And Juan, I want to get your
We
take
don't need a treaty to cool it.
on some of the headlines that are out there. The Huffington Post, for example, the headline on the Huffington Post right now: Trump destroys planet. Trump dead is the current headline. Trump
Well,
to planet drop dead, Juan?
Well, I think that what you're seeing is the sense that President Trump is withdrawing from concern about rising temperatures. And even here at home, when we look at the polls, most Americans think that as a result of climate change increasing CO2 gases, greenhouse gases, we're going to see the erosion of our beaches, our coastlines. We're going to see
Juan, you're making a
deterioration.
point
Emissions are
about the
declining,
science,
Juan.
not about the deal. He's against the deal.
Yeah, and President Macron of France called it in and said, there's no renegotiation. If you think you're the art of the deal guy, we're not renegotiating with you.
All
Who
right.
cares? Our CO2 emissions are declining,
Yeah, but too high.
and they're going to
Mark.
continue to decline.
All right,
We are the
maybe you
hope
guys
so.
can meet up
World
after the
leader
show and keep
in
Why,
this
why
discussion
can't
going.
we be the leader? Why
Thank
can't
you.
we?
We are.
We are, by the way. We
I
are.
hope
All
so.
right. Juan, Marc, thank you. President Trump made clear today a specific group was top.